Hello, this is Shirley Ross, Close to My Heart Consultant, and today is Design Space Friday. And today I'm going to share with you how I create some layout designs using Design Space. When I do this, it doesn't mean I'm going to cut out each piece. It just means I'm going to use Design Space to help me design, and then I'll cut out the pieces that I need to cut out and leave the ones that I don't. And I will explain that as I go along. So the first thing I want, I'm not going to use the template. I'm actually going to use shapes, and I'm going to pick a square, and I'm going to make the square. It's going to be 12 inches. It's going to be proportional, so I don't have to unlock anything. And I'm going to make it white just so it's easier to see. And then, I'm going to put it 1 and 1. It's already there, so we're good. We'll duplicate it. We will put it, the second one, at 13 and 1. So now we have our base page ready. So I'm going to drop it down so you can see it as I'm working on it. Now, the theme for this layout is going to be a picnic. And I'm using the Close to My Heart, Make It From Your Heart How-To Book, Volume 3, and we are using Pattern 2. And the cool thing about the book is it has everything, the sizes that I need. So the first thing I'm going to do is duplicate the square. I'm going to change it to green because I know I'm going to use this for one of the pattern pieces. And I'm going to unlock because I need a rectangle that's 4 by 6. So it's going to be 4 inches wide and 6 inches high. And it is actually going to be placed on the layout, even with the left-hand corner, but at the 3 inches from the top. So that's where our position is going to come in. So we know we want it at 1, and we know we want it at 3 inches down. And remember, we have the 1 inch, so we're going to put it at 4. We're going to duplicate that because it actually is going to be on the other side too. So we're going to put it at 21. And then we are going to make sure it's at 4. Remember, it always seems to put it down a 1/2 inch. So we have 2 of the pieces in place. So then we're going to duplicate. And this time we're all into the craft paper right now. So I'm going to make this craft color. We're going to unlock it. And this piece, according to the instructions, is going to be 8 by 6.5. So we are going to make it wide. It's going to be 8 wide, and it's going to be 6.5, so 0.5. All right, and then it is going to go right next to this piece. So let's position it at 5. And it is going to be 2 inches from the top, so we'll put it at 3. So that piece is done, and then we're going to duplicate again. And this time we're going to put this at 13. And we are going to put it at 3 again. So now we have the base going in. So the next thing we're going to do is, it's going to use what we call a zip strip. That's part of our paper, and our zip strips are a 1/2 inch by 12 because they're the top part of the paper. So what we're going to do on this one, first of all, let's make it black because that's the color I want next. So it's going to be black, and we are going to make it 8 inches. We're going to unlock and make it 0.5. 0.5. All right, and then that piece is going to go right underneath the other piece. So we are going to put it at 5 and 9.5. All right, and then we'll duplicate that. And we're going to put this one at 13 and 9.5. All right, so that's pretty much the all the pattern paper. Now we're going to start playing with some images. So we're going to click on image, and I'm going to search for picnic. Now, sorry, I kind of lost the internet there for a minute. So we typed in the word picnic, and now I'm going to look through these images to see which ones I might want to use. I know I want to use this one and that one, and I think there might be that one. All right, so we're going to insert all those images. Now, I'm not going to use them the way they're coming in, and you'll see what I mean by that in a moment. So let's first move this first one out of the way. And I'm going to start with this piece. Now, I know I want this to be a part down here. There's one more piece that we need that's 1.5 by 8. And I want to use this. So the first thing I want to do is see what happens when I just change it to 8. And just see proportionally. Okay, it makes it really, really small. So let's try and make it the height that I want, which is going to be 1.5. So it's 1.5. All right. And I can put it here and then slice it if I want. Let's move this out of the way a little bit more. But it's just 1/2 inch off there. And let's see what happens if we unlock it and go ahead and make it the full. I think it needs to be a 13. Tab over. Oh, helps if I'm on the right one. So, so let's make it 15.75. Let's see what happens. It's still a little short there. And let's unlock it. We want to leave it at 1.5. I don't want to change that. So let's try at 16, see what happens. Because that would be the 8 and 8. Okay, I can live with that. And then what I'll do is just slice it in half. Right, so that's done. So the next thing I want to do is I want to play with the title. And I don't want the title to be the way it is. So we're going to ungroup that because I just want pieces of it. So I know I want the word park and in and the. So we're going to move those. And then I'm going to delete the back pieces. I don't want these ants because that's why I brought in the other. I'm going to delete those. And I know I want the clouds, but I only want one layer on the clouds. So we'll keep those and get rid of the back layer. And the same with this one. We'll move it over. Delete that back layer. I'm going to just get that cloud. Right, and I know I want to keep the picnic, and the picnic actually is 3 pieces. So we're going to go ahead and select all 3 of those so that I can group them when I go to size them. So let's group that. All right, because it has a red, a white, and a black piece. So that's going to stay here. And then I want to, again, the sun, I want to do the same thing with the sun. So let's come down and so we'll select the first piece, hold your shift key, select the second piece, and let's go ahead and group those. All right. So what I want to do is I want the sun to be in this corner, but I want it to be larger. So let's make it larger and put it here. That looks good. And then let's make it easier. Let's move this piece to the front. Yeah, sometimes you gotta just do what you gotta do. There you go. All right, so I like that. Now let's take this cloud and make it a little bit bigger. Let's put it up here. Let's take this cloud, make it a little bigger, and we're gonna put it next to it. Kind of layer them, and then this cloud will make it just a little bit bigger, and we'll leave it on the front side. Let's move it to the front. There we are. Okay, so we have the sky part. I like that. All right. Now I want to play with the words. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring those forwards because they went back. Send them to the front. Same with in and the. Make sure we select it. And send it to the front. And one more word. Where's my in? There we go. In the. Oh, I missed the. Sorry about that. We want the. And we'll send it to the front. All right, so all the words are in the front. So I want to take picnic and I want to make it kind of large. So it kind of offsets the I think I want to keep it here. Now, let's go ahead and put our photo pieces in. This is not going to, again, this is something that's not going to be a part of what I'm going to cut out, and I'll show you, what I'm going to cut soon. Let's make it white. Let's hide our shapes. Now this is going to be a 4x6. Well, first we need some 3x3. So let's go ahead and just make that a 3x3. And we're going to need 4 of those. So 1, 2, 3 more of those. And then let's duplicate for the 4x6. All right, we're going to unlock here. We're going to make it wide by 6 and 4. All right. And so this one is going to go an inch in from the top and the bottom. So I'm just going to eyeball it for a moment until I get it there. Okay. If it's this is at 5, so we want this one to be at 6 to be an inch in. And if we want an inch from the bottom piece is at 5, it should be at 10. So if we put that at 10, all right, then this bottom piece should be at 11.5. So the bottom we want it to be at 10.5. And I think we're just about there. So let's just go ahead and put that at 6.5. That should be it perfect right there. All right, so that one is done. And then I'm just going to eyeball these ones over here. They're going to be an inch from this side. And they all put together. I'll put those in place when we get over to that side. Right now I just want to get them out of the way so you can see what we're doing. So this is here. So now what we want to do is bring the word park up, make it a little bit larger, arrange it to the front. Kind of like that. I like it when it leans a little bit. So then we're going to bring the in and the. So let's put the there. Let's grab the word in and bring it over here. So there we go. Picnic in the park. Now, if you want to make these just a little bit bigger, because sometimes the larger they are, the easier it is for them to cut out. Put that like that. All right, let's see. That one is at heights 0.6, so 0.75. All right, and let's do the same way. All right, so we'll put those right next to each other. Right, and you can even move park over just a little bit more from that. Okay, so we have the title, Picnic in the Park. I like that. Now, what I wanted to do with this one was the only thing I wanted on this one were the ants. So I think the best way to do this is to ungroup. And then let's just delete the parts we don't want. So you just click on it, and then you can just delete that. Now, I want to keep the picnic basket, so we can use that somewhere else. So I want to select this and this and group those. And then we're going to move that over here. All right, and I'll show why I want that in a minute, and then we'll delete this. All right, so now we want to move these so that they are 1 inch from the left and the top of this piece. So we know that this piece is at 13.3. So we're going to want that at 4, and we want it at 14. So we want this one at 14. And we know it's 3 inches, and we put it at 4, and 3 is 7, so we'll put it at 7 inches, and that should be perfect. All right, and then we want this one to be at 17 and 4, so that's good. And this one will be at 17. All right, now I want to make this picnic basket just a little bit smaller because I wanted to offset the from the sun over here. I want something in this corner to kind of weight it down in the corner. So we can do that. I think I like it like that. All right. And then all I want to do with the little ants is to have them, we're going to flip them around because I want them crawling down from the top. So we'll have them coming across over like that. Maybe make them a little smaller, right? And then we'll get an ant coming up from here, like that. Make him a little smaller. And then there's a third one over there. There he is. So let's grab him and we'll bring him up here, but we'll turn him so he's going the other way. Like that. Make him just a little bit smaller. All right, so then we have, I always like to have a visual triangle. So now what I want to do is I want the colors to be the same, because if you look at the color sync, we've got lots of different colors. And so I want everything that is an off-white, I want it to come up and be white. So that's the inside of this basket, that's behind the word picnic. And of course, all these pieces, but they're not going to cut out as we discussed before. So now I want everything that's black to be black. I want all the reds to be the same. I want the picnic basket to be the same color. I want the sun to be the same color. And I want in to be the same green. So this way I've got fewer papers. And then the colors are all going to go together. Now this piece and this piece are actually going to be cut out of a pattern paper. We're going to pick a shape, which is usually always a square. Now we know this is going to be 8 inches, so let's make this 8 inches. All right. And remember, you can only select 2. I'm going to put it where I need it to be, so I know it'll be in the right place. So it'll be 13. Don't really care about that part. So what we're going to do now is come down here and select the table border. We'll select that piece and we'll do a slice. So we'll delete that. We'll keep the red one. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to actually slide it up. And I'm going to again put it at 13. And then I'm going to come over here and find the, there it is, tablecloth. So we'll shift and hold that one. And then we'll do the slice. And then we'll delete that. We'll delete that. Then we'll arrange that to the back. Arrange that to the back. All right. All right. So anyway, this is how I design layouts. I use several times I'll use images that are in the image gallery. Sometimes I will use just the Close to My Heart images. I really do love our Close to My Heart cartridges. Sometimes I want to use some that are already there. So this is just a way to show you that you can change up what you see. You don't have to do them exactly the way they are. You can play with them however you want. I am going to move him over a little bit because I don't want him to get lost in the black. And I may even like cut out the ants in glitter paper, just to add a little sparkle to the layout. So I hope you enjoyed the Design Space Friday, and I would love to see what you design.